I've been timing your contractions.
What? Ow! I've been hiding them so well.
No, you have not.
Number 20. Ellen Pompeo, Grey's Anatomy. When actress Ellen Pompeo became pregnant during season 6, the medical drama resorted to the usual tricks to hide her growing bump.
Well, at least you don't have to be laid up in bed for the next month.
She was given baggy outfits, hidden behind large objects, and of course, there were the obligatory shoulder-up only shots. However, as the bump became harder to hide, they created a storyline that worked both to hide her pregnancy and later explained her absence when she went on maternity leave. Meredith Grey undergoes surgery to donate part of her liver to her estranged father, leaving her on bed rest.
And
I love you.
The story might have seemed far-fetched to some, but at least it served its purpose. Number 19. Kobe Smulders, How I Met Your Mother.
These are my friends, Ted, Marshall, Lily, Robin.
During season 4, both female leads of the sitcom were expecting, but for now, we'll only be focusing on Kobe Smulders. As any fan of the show knows, Robin not only doesn't want kids, but also later learns that she can't have them either.
I can't have a baby.
The show's executive producer and co-creator Craig Thomas said that after she shared her happy news, the writers decided to find, quote, a way to write around it or have fun with it.
How would you like to give me an old King Clancy?
And the further along she got, the bigger the props they hid her behind. Director Pamela Fryman even joked that they had, quote, the biggest purses of any show on the air. Number 18. Deborah Messing, Will and Grace.
I'll see you tomorrow. It was so nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Deborah Messing was pregnant during the show's 6th season, and attempts to cover it up were deemed laughable by the fans. Grace is known for her tight-fitting outfits, so it was pretty obvious when she suddenly switched to wearing exaggeratedly baggy clothes. And did you notice she spent an awful lot of time on the couch? Many critics and even fans called the sitcom out on its lackluster attempts at the time. If somehow you still managed to miss all the signs, then you were probably left quite confused when Grace suddenly was missing during the final few episodes of the season.
Oh, Grace didn't call you? Oh, she's not coming.
Number 17. Patricia Heaton, Everybody Loves Raymond.
No, Ray, could you at least look at me before you settle in for 3 hours of television?
Patricia Heaton had to hide her pregnancy not just once, but during 2 different seasons of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay, so see, this is a family.
To cover this up, she would often be shot sitting at a table, covered by a blanket, or wearing a lot of loose clothing. However, in the season 1 episode Why Are We Here?, we get a flashback as Deborah and Ray try to remember why they moved across from his parents in the first place. Taking place 3 years earlier, we see Allie as a baby and Deborah pregnant with the twins. But the bump we see is actually Heaton's 3rd child.
Grab me the ice cream, will you?
Number 16. Sarah Jessica Parker, Sex and the City.
And I wondered how something so small could suddenly seem so big.
Although both Cynthia Nixon and her character Miranda were pregnant during the show's run, when SJP was expecting in season 5, it just didn't make sense for her character Carrie to be pregnant.
Meanwhile, in a chair across town, I was enjoying an afternoon of absolutely nothing.
So instead, they used Carrie's love of fashion to cover up her growing bump, to varying degrees of success, although there are definitely moments where it's impossible not to see her belly. They also decided that rather than the usual 18 average episode season, they would cut the season short to accommodate the actress.
Thanks for bringing that up again.
Some fans even thought that the baby made a cameo as Aiden's kid, but Sarah Jessica Parker has since set the record straight on that.
Look at you.
Look at you.
Hey, I had a baby.
I have a date.
Number 15. Kerry Washington, Scandal. Fans of this political thriller were so amused with the countless creative ways that the series hid Washington's pregnancy that calling them out almost became like a game to them.
That could work. It shuts us down before it gets to the president. You fall on your sword and the story goes away.
In season 3, her character was hidden behind random objects like lamps, monitors, other characters, vases, and of course, her big Prada purse. They also relied on big coats or capes and some very, creative camera angles to keep her pregnancy out of sight.
There are no more questions about our relationship.
But I have some questions about yours.
I thought you trusted Jake.
This is a bad idea.
It's how I can stay.
Even Washington saw the funny side of the team's efforts. She told Good Morning America that, quote, you could play a really fun game for the first 5 episodes of Find the Bump.
You'll have to suspend your campaign activities at least for a few days out of respect.
Number 14. Gillian Anderson, The X-Files. What do you do when your actress is so far along that you can no longer rely on large objects and carefully planned camera angles alone? Well, when Gillian Anderson was pregnant during the 2nd season of The X-Files, they had Scully abducted by aliens. they're seen performing experiments on the FBI agent, which explains her suddenly enlarged belly. There was even behind-the-scenes talk of Scully giving birth to an alien baby at one point. Allegedly, Fox wanted to recast the actress after learning she was expecting, but creator Chris Carter fought for her to stay and found this supernatural solution instead. Number 13. Alana Masterson, The Walking Dead.
Look, if they see you and we don't make it...
We're gonna make it, and they're not gonna see me.
Are you kidding?
A zombie apocalypse probably isn't the best time to get pregnant, which is likely why they chose not to write this one into the show. However, the actress who played Tara was pregnant for a lot of the 6th season, and if you go back and watch it again, you'll notice that she's often hiding behind a variety of objects.
Are you worried? No.
Still, with a zombie uprising, there's no time to rest, so it was business as usual with plenty of action and lots of zombie killing. To give the then heavily pregnant actress a break, Tara is sent on a 2-week supply run during the season's last few episodes. Number 12. Angela Kinsey, The Office.
So glad.
No.
Okay.
Fans of this sitcom will know that Angela Martin was Little Preg in Season 8. But in Season 4, actress Angela Kinsey was pregnant in real life. Since her character wasn't pregnant this time, she used some typical and not-so-typical ways to hide her baby bump. Playing a character in an office environment sure came in handy. Angela was often filmed in her cubicle, at the Xerox machine, or hiding behind objects. But in a particularly memorable scene from Season 4's Goodbye Toby, Angela and Dwight find themselves in a compromising position to say the least. She might have been caught in the act, but her pregnancy wasn't. Number 11. Jennifer Goodwin, Once Upon a Time. With 2 storylines always playing out in parallel throughout the series, it undoubtedly posed a challenge for the writers when Goodwin, who played Snow White and Mary Margaret Blanchard, announced her pregnancy. Season 3 was very complicated as it is, and here we had one character who could freely show her growing bump, while the other was hidden under humongous cloaks.
We're back.
They also later half-wrote Emily DeRobin's pregnancy into Belle's storyline into Season 5. While Belle is pregnant, she puts herself under a sleeping curse to protect the baby after Rumple's unfortunate deal with Hades.
Not when there's a way that I can pause everything, even my pregnancy.
This worked both in explaining her absence and ensuring that she wouldn't appear further along than Belle. Number 10. Courtney Cox, Friends.
And remember, if I am harsh with you, it is only because you're doing it wrong.
Who among us didn't share in Monica and Chandler's heartbreak when they learned that they wouldn't be able to conceive a baby? Instead, we followed them on their adoption journey, where they would eventually become parents to twins in a surprise twist.
You don't have that much time to relax. The other one will be along in a minute.
I'm sorry, who should be along in a what now?
However, not long after this story arc began, actress Courtney Cox announced her own pregnancy, and the showrunners had no other choice but to try to creatively, though not always successfully, use baggy clothes and huge props to cover her up.
Take as long as you want. Just let me know when you're through.
However, as the weeks progressed, it became harder and harder not to notice. As the season headed into its finale, there was no denying that the actress was pregnant. Number 9. Leah Remini, The King of Queens.
Hey, what you up to?
Oh, I just stopped at that falafel place. I don't know why I keep having falafel. I kind of hate it.
This actress has openly discussed gaining 80 pounds during her pregnancy. Instead of making Carrie Heffernan pregnant, this sitcom embraced Leah's weight gain in a very convenient way. In a recurring storyline, Carrie finds herself looking for work, but also lounging around in sweats or a bathrobe. Perfect outfits for concealing a baby bump. She can also be seen clutching a pillow on her stomach, or relaxing in bed. Carrie finds work just as Leah's pregnancy becomes more noticeable, giving her more ways to hide her bump. We actually get brief shots of her pregnancy towards the season finale, but overall, we'd say this cover-up worked in Carrie and Leah's favor.
Yeah, I worked so hard this week and then I finished early, so for the rest of the weekend it's just you and me on the couch, buddy.
Number 8. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Seinfeld.
Elaine, you gotta have a baby.
Elaine Bennis didn't have kids of her own, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a mother of 2. Julia was pregnant throughout season 3 of Seinfeld. Since Elaine wasn't expecting, the producers had to get creative. There were the usual larger coats and hiding behind objects, and in season 3's The Subway, Elaine is on her way to a wedding, wearing an oversized red coat and carrying her gift on her stomach. Things get claustrophobic pretty quick, and the subway stalls for what seems like an eternity. What results is Elaine's totally relatable and hilarious internal monologue.
No. I'm still here. Still here. When will they start moving? Move! Move!
Pregnant or not, we've all been there. Elaine also went to Europe for the first couple of episodes of season 4, returning after Julia's maternity leave. Number 7, Jane leaves. Frasier.
Darling, look at that. Your ankle's swelling up already.
It's the other one!
While Niles and Daphne have their own baby in the series finale, Jane Leaves was pregnant throughout season 8. Instead of hiding the pregnancy in a conventional way, the show had an ingenious solution.
Go on. I need a few more minutes to get ready.
Daphne starts overeating and even hides snacks around the apartment. Strangely enough, everyone but Niles seems to notice. That is, until she falls and can't get up. After some heavy lifting by Niles, Frasier, and Martin Crane, she's back up again. As her overeating goes from bad to worse, Niles suggests she go to a weight loss retreat, which explains her absence for a few episodes. As far as covering up a pregnancy goes, this way is funny, clever, and poignant all at once. Number 6, Lauren Lane, the nanny. This actress, who played Maxwell Sheffield's business partner Cece Babcock, was expecting throughout season 5 of The Nanny. Cece drops some very obvious hints that Lauren Lane is having a baby.
I was watching this rerun of Seinfeld, and Elaine must have been, 12 months pregnant. And they didn't even acknowledge it. They just kept hiding her behind these huge props.
She first jokes about another pregnant sitcom star and carries the usual large props. In an especially funny scene, Cece later enters with a giant sign that says baby. There's no subtlety whatsoever, but that's what makes it work. As Lauren's pregnancy progressed, so did Maxwell, Fran, and Cece's love triangle. After Maxwell and Fran become engaged in a later episode, the devastated Cece is institutionalized. But not to worry, she comes back soon enough.
Hello, hello, I'm back!
Number 5, Kyler Lee, Grey's Anatomy. Being a doctor is not an easy job, especially at Seattle Grace. Ever wonder why Lexi stuffed her face in season 5? In real life, Kyler Lee was pregnant, so while Grey's Anatomy used the usual filming techniques to hide her baby bump, they also made Lexi stress eat. Lexi chows down at home, but especially at work. She's also got quite the sweet tooth, craving Reese's Cups, Twinkies, and chocolate. Frankly, we don't blame her. All this stress eating causes Lexi to put on a bit of weight, which leads to a brutally honest but cheeky comment from Sister Meredith. Humongous butt or not, though, the Greys are as close as ever.
Look at her. Face is breaking out, her ass is humongous.
Number 4, Jane Krakowski, 30 Rock.
How are we not doing that, Sean? I'm a little baffled over here.
To quote 30 Rock executive producer Robert Carlock, quote, "No child should have Jenna Maroney for a mother." So, when Jane Krakowski became pregnant with her son, the show went to great lengths to hide her bump. They started out with conventional tricks like having Jenna hold bags and filming her sitting down, but as her pregnancy continued, they came up with more unique ideas. The notoriously non-maternal Jenna suddenly really wants a baby, and even has a hysterical pregnancy. In the 5th season finale, Jenna outdoes herself, walking around Central Park in an oversized dog costume.
Jenna?
Oh, Jenna, no.
There you are! Bad dog! You'll go in the crate tonight.
30 Rock not only covered up Jane's pregnancy, but they also used it to her character's advantage. Number 3, Melissa Fumero, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I don't know. Is anyone gonna buy it? I mean, do I look pregnant?
I mean, I guess I can see it.
Unlike some other shows on this list, Brooklyn Nine-Nine didn't always hide Melissa Fumero's pregnancy. Early on, they chose the usual oversized bags, coats, and even a gift basket. But as season 3 progressed, the show decided to make the most out of her growing bump. In the episode Maximum Security, Amy goes undercover as a pregnant prisoner after Rosa's fake bump backfires. While Amy's real identity is under wraps, her pregnancy sure isn't. She tries to get information from inmate Maura Figgis, putting herself in all kinds of danger. Well, at least Jake thinks so. Amy earns Maura's trust regardless, making her one badass mama-to-be on and off screen.
This is so sweet. Now kiss her belly.
Boyle.
Number 2, Allison Hannigan, How I Met Your Mother.
Lily, the belly, always!
This actress's second pregnancy was written into season 7 of this beloved sitcom. However, the show decided to hide Allison's first pregnancy in season 4. That is, until we learn about the gang's resumes. While the friends discuss entries that don't have anything to do with their current jobs, Lily's resume shows her to be quite the competitive eater. Back in 1995, Lily won a hot dog eating contest after downing 29 dogs in only 8 minutes. As she is proclaimed the winner, Lily the Belly Aldrin lives up to her nickname, revealing Allison's real-life baby bump. Hilarious and incredibly creative, this pregnancy is undeniably legend, wait for it, dairy. Number 1. Zooey Deschanel, New Girl.
Thank you for inviting me.
For much of New Girl's 5th season, this adorable actress and singer was pregnant. The show used conventional and not-so-conventional ways to hide her growing bump. In the season premiere, Zooey was not far along, so they stuck to the usual baggier clothes and hiding behind objects. And of course, no premiere is complete without Jess falling downstairs and using a motorized scooter. By episode 3, Zooey was further along, so Jess began serving on jury duty, which gave her plenty of screen time sitting down. Meanwhile, Megan Fox's Reagan served as a replacement roommate until Jess's return. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.